Hi, I'm Rachel Bachman, a sports writer at the Wall Street Journal. I'm here with Torah Bright, a snowboarder from Australia who won the 2010 gold medal in the women's halfpipe in Vancouver. Torah, thanks so much for joining us. And tell us why you're here today, Torah.
I'm here in New York because I'm going to be walking in the red dress fashion show. Subway, who I've been working with in Australia, has partnered with Diet Coke, who sponsors the event. So I've got a red dress that I'll be walking in on the runway, which Nicole Miller designed. So it's very much out of my element being here in New York, but I love it.
The news this week, of course, is somewhat ominous. We saw Lindsey Vonn crash in Austria a few days ago and seriously injure her knee. Wondering if you can just talk about the dangers of winter sports first and what your colleagues are talking about.
Yeah, well, last night a group of us were talking and we're like, you know, there used to be one Evel Knievel, and now there's many, many more. And we obviously all love what we do, and that's why we, you know, get back on the horse after we have injuries. And yeah, I mean, we all know the risks. Some are calculated and some just don't play in our favor, but we're here to live. So, yeah.
In Lindsey's case, you know, there's been a lot of talk about how long it might take her to come back. What's your sense of sort of serious knee injury, how long it might take for a high-level athlete to return to the slopes?
I actually don't have any experience with the lower limbs, but I mean, Lindsey is incredibly strong and determined, so I have no doubt she'll be able to really recoup with this break and with the rehab, and she'll be back full force for Russia.
Wonderful. And we're, of course, about 1 year out from the Sochi Games in Russia in 2014. I'm wondering if you can tell me who you think a couple of the favorites are, particularly in the women's halfpipe and the men as well.
Let's see, favorites. Of course, in the women's, it's, you know, there's Kelly Clark, Gretchen Blyler, Elena Height. There are some young American girls coming up, Ariel Gold. And, you know, they don't know who's on the team yet, but I'm hoping that she gets in there because she's quite the rider. And of course, for the men, there's Sean. I'm really hoping that my buddy Danny Davis can, you know, really get back in there after injury, and he's determined. So, you know, there's time. But yeah, you know, I'm just excited for the great show that everyone's going to put on.
And speaking of that show, of course, every Olympics there's a great anticipation about what new tricks will be unveiled by the halfpipe snowboarders. And can you tell me a few guesses or ideas you have about new tricks we might see in Sochi?
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna leave that one. Time will tell, and the show will unveil what everyone's gonna be doing. So.
Is there a great deal of secrecy involved in sort of keeping tricks under wraps until the biggest events?
No, I think Shaun White's the only one that has a little secrecy involved in there. But no, otherwise everybody rides together, and we all see what each other's doing, and we all help each other because it's the kind of progression of the sport that we all want, and we want our buddies to do well. So.
And I know in Vancouver there were some issues with the snow. There wasn't really enough snow at the snowboard venues for all the events they wanted to do on time. I'm wondering about Sochi. You know, it's actually a subtropical climate. Has there been any worry about whether there will be enough snow in Russia?
Well, it's funny you ask. I'm headed to Sochi tomorrow. The slopestyle event, which it's going to be the first time that it'll be debuting in the Olympics, that's been cancelled because of lack of snow, and we were waiting to hear whether the halfpipe and the border cross would be going on as well, but it looks like they're going to be able to have enough snow for the halfpipe and the border cross, but the slopestyle is cancelled for the test event. So, you know, next year's another winter, so we'll just have to see what it brings.
I hope that's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah.
Torah, thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it.